Sorry for the technical difficulty. We got booted out there, but we are back. Legion
Jeremy,
of
are
Bob.
you a married man?
I am not. No, sir.
I was going to say, you know why I knew you weren't a married man?
Why is that?
Because the wife would never go for that beer.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I knew, bro. That's why I knew. Now, how long has that been in the making?
This long probably. I get it trimmed every once in a while, but like I've been going this long probably since the pandemic.
Oh, that's not too long. That's a lot of length for that amount of time, bro.
Yeah, I usually get it trimmed every once in a while, but not as often as I used to. I used to get it shorter, but I kind of liked it like this, I'll probably get tired of it eventually.
Yeah, I'm going to predict that a female in your future is going to force you to cut that beard. That's my prediction, bro.
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh, we are back. We had a gremlin in the system and got bumped off, but we are back. So hopefully we can get everybody that was on back. We left off with the complete nonsense of Kevin Owens going after the state of Texas, weren't we?
Yeah, my point that I was saying before we got cut off, bro, is I understand why they're doing it. They got to sell tickets for 2 nights. I totally get it. But while we're watching this play out on TV, the majority of the audience who lives other than Texas really don't care about Kevin Owens running down Texas. I mean, if you live in New York, okay, Kevin Owens hates Texas. So what? That's my point, bro. I understand why they're doing it, but I just don't think it's good television for a national audience.
Yeah. And like you said, the rumor came out that this is going to happen before they started, actually forcing this on us. And so it's like they had the idea first, and then people knew about the idea, and now let's all of a sudden just just out of nowhere have them set this up. Now the first match of the card, the KO show, ended in a tag match with Alpha Academy. And I think Kevin and Seth, for not being a tag team, they're pretty smooth in terms of the tandem moves that they pull off.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, bro, they're both good workers. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But again, it's like, again, if I'm watching this, like, I'm very confused, bro. Are these 2 heel teams? And if they are heel teams, why are they trying so hard to be entertaining? Baby faces are supposed to be entertaining. Now, if you're a heel and you're cool and people like you, that's one thing. That was Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They were heels, but people just liked them because they were cool.
Yeah.
Seth, you've got 2 comedy acts here. Yeah. Which I'm very confused by, because these are supposed to be 2 heel teams and we've got 2 comedy acts, and I don't understand why I care if either team wins or loses. I have no attached emotion whatsoever, because there is no heat. You have 4 guys just trying to be funny. Then you got Riddle and Orton trying to be funny. It's like you've got a whole show of people trying to be funny. And I'm lost, bro. I'm just being honest with you. I'm lost.
Yeah. And and Street Profits, they do the same thing. They try to be funny, maybe in a more entertaining personality sort of way. They're not really kind of forcing. Yeah, sometimes they force some bad jokes out there, but and later on, as we'll find out in another tag match, it was Tag Match City on Monday Night Raw tonight.
Bro, you had a tag match, a squash match, a 6-man, a tag, and a tag. Bro, wrestling writing 101. You never put 2 tags back to back. That goes back to the beginning of time. Bro, they don't even care how they format these shows anymore. They don't even care. 3 tag matches, bro, back to back to back.
Yeah.
Oof, bro.
Yeah, and that tag division gets even muddier, because now RK Bro gets beat. And because the Street Profits have not been winning much lately, and now RK Bro, one of the top teams, gets beat by the Street Profits, so now even mixes up the tag division even more. And some people were saying that Randy Orton might have gotten legitimately hurt on that frog splash from Montez Ford tonight. We'll have to maybe if we can get Chris on the show here later on. He looks like he had some connection problems, and that might have knocked us off the broadcast there earlier. But maybe if we can get Dr. Chris Featherstone back on here. He was at Raw Tonight Live. It sounds like that Orton might have needed help getting back up, so he might have landed on his shoulder, which even further muddies the tag team situation.
Yeah. And even that, bro, or I mean, are the Street Profits heels or baby faces?
Yeah, they're baby faces. They've never been heels.
That's what I don't understand. So we got Orton and Riddle again. Bro, listen, I'm a guy that broke all the rules, bro. But here's the bottom line. You still gotta care.
Yeah.
You have to care if somebody wins or loses. That's why, bro, you need some semblance of baby faces and heels. You got to care if somebody wins or loses.
Yeah.
And like I said, bro, in so many of these matches, I don't like, Alpha Academy against Seth Rollins and Kevin. Like, who do I care who wins that match?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like we're going to have a combination of an end game and, and then if they meet up again, we're going to 50-50 book it. Yeah. And, and that's exactly, I mean, that's and you had another example that another one of the millions of tag matches tonight, the Hurt Business taking on the Mysterios. And you know very well next week it's going to be a rematch with the Mysterios winning, getting their win back, don't you think?
Yep.
That's just how it goes.
This is just house show, bro. This is a house show. All this stuff is fine if it's a house show. It's not fine for TV, bro. You're never outside of your weekly watchers. You are never, ever going to expand your audience to casual fans with a show like this, ever.
After the initial match, we had an interview with Omos. He had been kind of absent lately since his feud with AJ Styles. Omos given a promo backstage, a decent promo. I'd say he's been working on that in his downtime. And unfortunately, T-Bar, who still has that retribution gimmick, was fed to Omos. And I'm guessing we're probably going to have to pencil Omos in as your Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner, don't you think?
I guess. I guess.
I mean, can we get the old Dijak back and get rid of T-Bar?
Bro, none of these guys matter. They don't, man. Nobody cares about Omos. Omos is not Andre the Giant. He'll never be Andre the Giant. Nobody cares about this dude, bro. Nobody cares about T-Bar. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And they kept him like off TV recently. So then all of a sudden you bring him back. He kind of had maybe a little bit of reaction from time to time with getting in the ring and things he did with AJ, but then you hold him back for a month or two and all of a sudden just bring him back out of nowhere tonight.
Doesn't work that way, bro. The number one tool to getting anybody over is they need to be on TV every week. Now, they don't need to wrestle every week. They need to have a presence. There's 6 ways you can get somebody on TV. If you want to get somebody over, bro, they've got to be on TV every single week. You can't start, stop. You're never, ever going to get anybody over that way. And they do that with a lot of people on their roster, bro.
Yeah, I've noticed that. The 6-woman tag match up next. The evil women of Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki Ash took on the good girls of Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. And did you see the aftermath of Becky Lynch's welts on her stomach?
Yeah, bro, and it was very odd to me because, first of all, you're whipping her with braided hair, and it looked like Becky lifted up the top that she was wearing, like there was a mark underneath it already there.
Oh,
that's exactly what it looked like to me, because she had to lift up, and when she lifted up, a mark was revealed.
Oh,
Bianca Belair's hair never never ever did that. And my point is, I don't know what the point of that is. Like, what is the point of that, bro? Bianca Belair is the baby face.
Yeah.
Becky is the heel. Like, what's the point of that? A heel would do that to a baby face. Now the baby face wants revenge.
Yep.
Why would a baby face do that to a heel? And a heel is showing us her welts? Bro, everything is just backwoods and very confusing.
I noticed after the first hit, and then maybe when they after about 8 camera cuts, another hit. I just noticed how a couple of those hits sounded like they stole it from an Indiana Jones movie with the whip crack.
Absolutely, bro. I'm telling you, absolutely. And if you don't believe me, bro, all anybody has to do, go back, bro, and watch what's his face, Damien Priest entrance.
Yeah.
There is such a pop, and nobody in the audience is reacting. Nobody. That's what they're doing, bro. They're piping in these sounds, it's smoke and mirrors. But like I said, she had to lift up to show.
I need to watch that again.
I'm telling you, bro, because I noticed it right away. I'm like, she didn't hit you that high.
Man.
You could tell it was underneath. It was underneath her top.
Oh, I got to watch that again then.
Yeah.
And double check that. That is interesting.
The good thing is, I mean, honestly, bro, I've been really, really hard on Becky because she's another one, bro. She's a heel, and every week she's dressing to pop the people in the back. Yeah. And every week she's coming out, this week I'm Elton John, this week I'm this one, this week I'm that one. And I'm like, you are a heel. Okay, bro, you're not supposed to be entertaining. We're not supposed to be laughing at. You're never going to get heat that way. So at least today, she dressed like a wrestler.
Yeah. And then, I guess, like you said, if you looked at it without knowing who's who, you'd feel like you're supposed to be sympathetic to Becky now, right?
Right. Yes.
I guess it was just a matter, obviously there's beef there from SummerSlam and the 20, every time they say the number of seconds of that match, I swear a second or two gets shaved off.
Yeah, they probably forgot.
But, so I got to get that, but I don't know. I don't really know that just looked brutal, so that's what they were kind of going for, people talking about it. But, I really got to go back and see that now to see if that was put that in slow-mo instant replay, right?
Yeah.
See if that mark was there before the first slap.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley got the win there. Then we head into the NXT feud between Dolph Ziggler and Tommaso Ciampa. Of course, on NXT last week, Robert Roode, dressed as a cameraman, caused a distraction by nailing Ciampa, giving Ziggler the win in the main event of NXT last week. So then we get ourselves a one-on-one match between Roode and Ciampa before their tag match on NXT on tomorrow night. And for two guys who, in my opinion, are very talented, they sure as hell did not give them any time to do anything tonight, did they?
Well, listen, again, Jeremy, you and I are going to come from different worlds here because, bro, I don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
I could care less about NXT. So I'm watching this match. I don't know who Ciampa is. I know who Ciampa is, but as a casual television viewer, they've given me no background on this guy. I don't know whether I like him or I don't like him. I don't watch NXT, so I have no idea what's going on. And obviously, only a fraction of the people watching Raw watch NXT. Look at the numbers, bro. 4 times the amount of people watch Raw. So they're not watching NXT. So the only people that are going to care about this segment are those that watch NXT.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The only people that are going to care about Kevin Owens in Texas are people that live in Texas. Bro, that's not the way you write a show. You've got to get all the television viewers involved in this. And I love Bobby Roode. I work with Bobby Roode. I can't say enough good things about the guy.
Yeah.
But I don't watch NXT.
Yeah. And I tell you what, you just mentioned it with Damian Priest. The same went for Ciampa. You know, he is probably one of the most popular guys in NXT, but you look at the crowd and nobody's moving, no hands are moving. Like, you know, you watch some other wrestling shows, other people come out, you can see clapping, you can see excitement, and you hear excitement, like you said, but you see everybody sitting on their hands. And I think they didn't really, you know, pipe in anything for Ciampa. They didn't really do him any favors either, because he had a very beloved entrance music and then changed it to a generic one, and that really upset a lot of people tonight. And that kind of goes to show you he's kind of just a generic guy. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. He's kind of being presented as a generic guy on the main roster, right?
Oh, bro. I mean, wasn't Aleister Black presented the same exact way?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, bro, listen, Ciampa's got a great look and everything else. Don't get me wrong, but so did Aleister Black.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing. You bring people over from NXT, you don't give me any background of them, no vignettes, nothing. You throw them right into matches, and why am I going to watch this? I don't even know this guy.
We got some dude 682 on YouTube saying he lives in Texas, born in Texas. He doesn't even care.
I'm not surprised by that.
No.
I'm not surprised by that at all, bro.
I was laughing at Owens wearing the cowboy hat like Captain Crunch, but
are you supposed to laugh at a heel?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Are you?
No.
We weren't laughing at King Kong Bundy.
No.
We weren't laughing at Ted DiBiase.
No.
How do you get heat if people are laughing? How do you get heat? You're a heel. A heel lives on heat. How do you get on heat by trying to make people laugh?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
The only guy laughing.
I was a heel. Yeah? I was a heel on TV, bro. I wasn't out there cracking jokes.
And nobody wanted to high five you either when you were walking to the back.
Exactly. Like I don't understand it. Like, what, bro? A heel's job is to get heat. That's your job, man.
Oh man. And you know, I don't know. You know what? You always do. You think the problem stemmed when, like, guys like the NWO just they were so good that they started cheering for them, and so
bro,
Vince is thinking,
that's fine, bro. If it's organic, that's fine. Like that is absolutely fine. I got no problem. I mean, bro, Austin was a heel for crying out loud, but the fans embraced him, and same happened with The Rock. But bro, that's organic.
Yeah. Do you think Vince is trying to recreate that though? Noticing how these are heels that got cheered because it was organically.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think Vince remembers what happened 20 years ago. I'm being totally honest. No.
What do you mean, pal?
Yeah, no, there's no way, bro. Bro, Vince doesn't even know how the Attitude Era happened. He has no idea, bro, how it even happened, because if he knew how it happened, you would try to be replicating it in a 2022 version. There was a formula and a pattern to why that worked. He doesn't even know why it worked, bro.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just kind of wonder because, you know, that was basically the kind of the start of the cool heel, the one that people are cheering for. And so it's like, is it his feeling that he feels like he always has to have a cool heel out there so we can get some sort of reaction?
But see, that's the thing, Jeremy. I'll even be okay with a cool heel, but it's all the heels. Yeah. Bro, the first segment, you got the Alpha Academy and Seth Rollins. You got 4 heels out there doing comedy. You got 4. It's not one. It's 4 right off the bat. Then you got Becky. You know, Becky's doing her comedy, you know, with the costumes. If it's one person, like, that's okay, but it's half of the heels, bro.
Yeah. When's the last time we had like a true heel that in WWE that you just wanted to hate?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't tell you, bro. I can't tell you. I don't know.
You know, Baron Corbin, but I think that was just because people got sick of him. I don't know if it was true heat. It's not MJF heat. I know that much, but Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I feel sorry for Ciampa because it just seems like it's going to be, somebody in the chat mentioned it could be Karrion Kross all over again.
Yeah.
Has all the momentum in the world in NXT. And Ciampa was even there even longer, and they changed his music that people love. People, they chanted to it, and now you change it to generic music number 38, and you have them in 5-minute matches. And I think all of the Ciampa was one of those true heels in NXT when him and Gargano fought. So that's a true heel. He came out to no entrance music just to get heat, and that was some of the better stuff that they did with Ciampa back in the day. But this tonight, I think this is a precursor to what we're going to see for Ciampa on the main roster, and it's unfortunate.
Yep.
There was some 24/7 stuff that happened, and we wasting more time in 3-hour shows, right?
Yep.
Can we retire that title anytime soon?
It eats up time. That's all it does.
Yep. And then we have the Mysterios coming out, of course, talking about the challenge that was laid down last week with Logan Paul. Of course, Logan Paul, a well-known guy in a lot of circles. I'm not particularly a fan, but I know a lot of people know of him. So I guess that'll bring a lot of eyes to the product. And
see, bro, that's the problem. Let me just stop you for a second there, Jeremy, because they did this same thing with Bad Bunny. And let me explain to you exactly what happens. Okay. So it's Logan Paul, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, Logan Paul. Yeah, okay. Logan and Jake Paul are the
Logan and Jake Paul, bro. They're social media phenoms, but they're cool. They're cool dudes. Okay, so what happens, bro, is just like Bad Bunny. They're going to be on Raw. Okay, bro. So their audience is now going to tune into Raw to see Logan Paul, and Bad Bunny. Okay, fine. They're cool, bro. Those guys are cool. They tune into Raw, and what do they see, bro? They see corny to the 50th degree. They see Alpha Academy. They see Rollins. They see, that's not cool, bro. All that stuff is corny. That's not why they're fans of Logan Paul. Logan Paul's not corny. So as soon as Logan Paul leaves the show, every single one of those fans leave the show because you're talking about a very popular figure in pop culture, and you're talking about the corniest show on television. You're never going to gain those viewers, bro. So I understand what they're doing, but those are completely different audiences that will never, ever, ever be a fan of this product.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall to one of those casual people that is a Bad Bunny fan or a Jake Paul fan, and then it's followed up with a 24/7 segment.
Absolutely. Exactly, bro. I mean, absolutely. Yes, that's what we're talking. I don't understand. See, that's the problem, bro. If I were working at the WWE today, this is exactly what I'd be saying. If Vince McMahon was sitting across from me, I would be explaining this to Vince McMahon. I don't know how they don't have these conversations at the WWE, bro. These are the conversations that need to be freaking made.
Yeah, I hear you. But since the beginning of time with WrestleMania, there's always been celebrity involvement. Do you think it's gone too far now? Like, they used to have Liberace and Cyndi Lauper, but they were never in like, Mr. T was in a match, obviously. But do you think they're doing too much celebrity when it comes to WrestleMania now?
I don't think they're doing too much, bro. I just think like either it's not a good fit, or the people they're using are yesterday's news. I mean, bro, you got to understand, like even Cyndi Lauper, bro, who was involved? That was the MTV crossover.
Oh, yeah.
Who was involved in that, bro? Freaking Piper. Yep. Piper was cooled to the MTV crowd. Roddy Piper was not corny, bro. Roddy Piper was cool.
Yeah.
That was the difference. So that tie-in with the MTV crowd, that worked because it wasn't corny, ridiculous, stupid wrestling. Piper was cool, man.
Mm-hmm. And you got in the chat here, Mike Tyson's another good example.
Absolutely.
What the build to that, you remember JR yelling Tyson and Austin, and you will never forget that moment when it just went insane in the ring with all the security guys. I think somebody had a lot of cash fall out that whole thing, and it was just insane. And then in the end, there was a big swerve and a nice payoff, and that was a good way, to include a celebrity. Now, I'll tell you what, with Bad Bunny, I thought he did a great job, and he was serious, training and things. Like, he took it serious, and so and I'm sure Jake Paul will too. I think they're just putting two people that you love to hate together, and then you got the ultimate baby faces in the Mysterios, and you got your classic good versus evil matchup.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I understand it from a marketing point of view, bro. They're trying to pull in from everywhere to fill out that stadium for 2 nights in a row. I understand that, and I totally get it. But if it were me, I am looking for somebody to bring their audience over. And how do we capture that audience?
Yeah.
How do we keep that audience to stay once Logan Paul leaves? We did that with Tyson, bro. Tyson brought a huge audience over, and when Tyson left, the audience stayed because we had a cool product. They don't have a cool product today, bro.
Yeah. And we got fresh from the arena from Monday Night Raw. He was there and saw it all.
He's home. Look at him. He's home already, man. Look at him.
Chris, how's it going, man?
It's going well, man. How are you?
Doing good. What did you think of tonight's show being there live?
About 97% of it sucked. It was
Jeremy.
There you go.
there was only one good thing that I liked about Raw, and that was Balor winning. That's because I wanted Priest to lose and get the title. That was probably the biggest cheer. There was 2 big things that happened as far as being in the crowd. As far as pops are concerned, that was Randy getting the hot tag and Balor winning the title. Everybody was just sitting like, we're so ready for Priest to not have the title anymore. So he got that big pop. As far as what I was doing, I was I kept saying, man, this sucks. I was having fun. It's always that like Vince and I have talked about this before. It's a different feel when you're there because like I just make myself have fun wherever I go. So I was just like naming random wrestlers. I was on the floor and I was just naming and screaming random wrestlers and getting a big joking. Everybody was laughing. I was saying like Pez Watley and the Missing Link and General Skandor Akbar, just random. I was just making the floor crack up because I was just naming random wrestlers doing the show because I just wasn't into it. I was just sitting there a lot of times. And I was like, man, this is horrible. Like the storyline development. This is we're 4 weeks before WrestleMania. I was talking to some friends and I was like 17. By that time, you already have the Rock Austin build. You're having the sit down interview. You're having the big promo with My Way and all. Like you're really getting into the story. But I mean, I was just watching it tonight, even there, and there were so many flat segments from the live crowd. Like when Priest came out, flat.
Really?
Flat.
You should, Chris. You should have heard it on TV.
Yeah.
Well,
you would have thought Jesus came out, bro. I knew it right away. I knew
it was dead flat,
bro. He got this huge pop, and I'm looking, and like there was no reaction.
Yep.
Really?
No reaction.
Everybody was sitting on their hands.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Hey, see, Jeremy, here's the thing. Yeah, they did 100%, Chris. Jeremy, here's the thing. This is what I want people to look for. because the game is now WrestleMania. We got to fill out that arena 2 nights in a row, whatever it takes. The Austin tease, Logan Paul, Vince McMahon getting in the ring, whatever it takes. But bro, let me tell you something. Here's the question. Okay. And what happens when Mania is over? What do you got? Do you, bro, when Mania is over, you're going to get that big rating the night after.
Yep.
Bro, I'm telling you, after Mania, they are going to go even lower than they are now because there's nothing. There's nothing. I mean, Chris, where are they after Mania? There's nothing, bro. Zero.
Well, you got a handful of matches that have no post game after Mania.
Right.
You're not going to follow up Austin and KO. You're not going to follow up whatever Vince does with Pat.
Brock will probably take a hiatus.
Yeah, Edge will take some time off after the stuff with AJ. So what do you got? Yeah. What do we have?
Now, you were mentioning back in the day with Rock and Austin and all that build. That's why, to me, I think they should get rid of Elimination Chamber in between the Rumble and Mania. And you have those main events set at the Rumble and you build them to Mania like they used to do back in the day.
Well, even in 17, though, Angle had the title. He lost it to Rock at the No Way Out right beforehand. So, it was that Rock Austin build. And that's when you had I think Stephanie was kind of in the middle of that. Oh, well, Deborah was in the middle of it at that time. A lot of people forgot the Deborah factor, but it was so interesting though. Like the build was just so interesting. But as far as the show tonight, it was just so, most of it was just so flat, and there was a lot of us. We were just having fun because I was in the back. We were just the back of the floor, and we were just we were just having a good time. But a lot of us was just trading belts, and we weren't even really paying attention because we were just so checked out of Raw. We were just kind of shooting the crap and just having a good time. But I was paying attention to reactions for the show, and a lot of us was just feeling the same way. Like in the very beginning, I was just sitting here like, wait, so there's 4 heels to start the show off.
Boom.
And wait a minute, Chris, let me correct you. There's 4 heels trying desperately to be comedians. Explain that to me, Chris.
Like I was literally sitting there.
Hold on, Chris. Chris, you are the psychiatrist. You are the psychiatrist. I want you to explain
I don't give meds,
to me.
Psychologist.
I want you to explain to me why 4 heels are desperately trying to do stand-up comedy. Explain that to me, bro.
Vince, you know how I am when it comes to logic and build in the end game, right? It's like a broken record every single week. I was sitting there. I was like, okay, pause. We're literally 4 weeks heading to WrestleMania, and we're starting the show off with 4 heels, and one of those heels you're trying to build against a 19-year hiatus returning Austin, and he's getting over. Like people were chanting Rollins and Owens because clearly in that segment they made themselves look like the baby faces. It made no sense to me whatsoever. It was mind-boggling.
Yeah, I was mentioning it earlier. The tag team division was cloudy, and now it's even cloudier because you have the Profits beating RK Bro. Now you were there.
Yeah, it was a botch. It was a total botch. It was like everybody was just like, "What?" It was crazy, and that was another thing that confused me because RK Bro is supposed to be the baby faces, but Dawkins is an Ohioan. So they're a babyface team. So he gets a babyface pop, but they're supposed to put RK Bro over, and they're just there just to be there. And RK Bro is supposed to be in the tag team title hunt, in the picture next week. But when Orton was trying to put his leg up, like he sold it, and then referees came to him, and then it was just kind of like none of this was on camera, but all of them was just kind of looking at each other, and Orton just kept shaking his head no. He just kept shaking his head no to the ref, and I was like, everybody was just looking around like, was that really supposed to happen? And it definitely seemed like a botch for sure.
A lot of people thought there were some reports from in the arena that possibly Orton hurt his shoulder when Montez landed on him, and that kind of threw things off as well. Did you see any kind of attention that was brought to Orton?
The referees was checking on him afterwards. He might have banged it up, but he was rolling like he was rolling toward the rope to hit the rope. You know,
he was right in the middle of the ring.
Got the splash.
Yeah.
So he rolled over to do the rope spot, and then the referees tended to him a little bit, and then like he just like one of the refs just kind of walked him out, but he was kind of holding it, but it didn't seem like major, and he just walked out. He was kind of holding himself a little bit, but it wasn't crazy. But he just walked out though.
But yeah, it makes no sense. The Street Profits really have not been a major player in the tag division lately. They've been losing more than they've won, and now they're going over a former champ who is in the hunt next week. Now it's probably going to be a fatal 4-way. Probably just going to all of a sudden throw them in there, and
I can see them do that.
Yeah, it's a mess. Next up was the United States Championship match. Finn Balor taking on Damien Priest, and I thought these two had a hell of a match. I thought this was probably one of the bright spots, in my opinion, at least for the show. And I'm very happy that Balor won. That makes Balor now a Triple Crown champion. So it's pretty cool to see a guy that really, had been kind of struggling to get his footing, got it back in NXT, and now he's a United States champion.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, from an in-house perspective, this is definitely the highlight of the night. It was cool. I gave it an ovation because I just wanted it to be off Priest. And I was just sitting there. Priest started cutting the heel promo and did the clothesline spot. I was like, there was some people around me, and I was just shaking my head. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 2022 heel turn. This is what a 2022 heel turn looks like. I was like, this is a god. This is a heel turn. And I was just sitting there like, wow, like, oh, how times have fallen as far as like building up to a heel turn and making it relevant and actually having that crowd. He got some boos, but it definitely wasn't thunderous. I mean,
Chris,
it wasn't.
What's worse than that?
It fell flat in the very beginning.
Chris, what's worse than that? Chris, I want to show you something right here. What does this say? Can you make what that says right there? See what it says? Piped in. Priest response. It was piped in, gotcha. Bro, 1,000%. And you just confirmed that. But Chris, here's what it does. Here's what's worse than anything else. And again, bro, I'm sitting in a writer's chair. Chris, Jeremy, they haven't done crap all with Finn Balor for how long? For how long? He finally wins a title on television, and rather than give the guy his moment for this week, you totally take it all away by having Priest attack him. What are you thinking, bro? You've done nothing with this guy in order to reestablish him and get him a baby face. Bro, you let him have his moment here. You want to get the heat, you get it next week. You don't let him win the title and then just take it right away. Bro, all of this that I'm telling you is Wrestling 101. Like, this is the basic of all basics, that it's like they can't get anything right, bro. Nothing makes sense, bro. Nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it should have extended. You've got enough time, and plus Ian's heel turn, building Finn as more of a top star, more of that elite star, more of that having that momentum, and then Priest does a turn. That's better than just someone who's been 50-50 for the past 2 years gets, basically has a 50-50 moment. He wins the title, then he gets pegged down again. You know what I mean? That's so I wish they would have at least stressed it another week and allow that momentum to build.
And then like some of that heat or some of that momentum that Damien Priest had early on in his main roster run, once they started doing that Damien gimmick, that really started to kind of halt his momentum as well. So in the end, I think in the end we're going to get some sort of Demon versus Damien thing, because that's going to be kind of the WrestleMania thing to do, don't you think?
Yeah,
I'd rather
I
see
agree.
that
I
than
agree.
these two guys straight up. That's for sure.
Yeah, the demon is just gonna, Demon's gonna do his gimmick, and Damon's is gonna come out just mad. He's like he's just nothing, no face paint. He's just gonna just real mad. Yeah,
He's gonna over exaggerate it, right?
just
And then
just real animated.
being in the arena, what were your thoughts on the ending segment with Edge and
Oh,
AJ
wait,
Styles?
Chris,
Oh,
Chris, throw one of these.
Hit it, Jeremy!
Chris,
Hit it, Jeremy!
throw one of
Time
these,
for
Chris.
Joey.
I'm throwing Jeremy one of these, bro.
Let me
Can we get Joey, Jeremy
can
in
I
here?
find it? Is this it?
Time out! Time out!
It's
Time
there,
out,
it's
Joey!
there.
Time out, Joey!
Joey, Jeremy, Tony Bennett's kid, whatever they're calling you these days. You are not going right over the Vince McMahon Austin Theory.
Oh yeah,
in the back.
yeah. Okay.
Now, Chris,
yeah,
did
you're
they
right.
play this to the house? Did you see this?
They did.
Okay, here's my question, Jeremy. I had a lot of questions on this show, right? A lot of questions with zero logic. We don't know. We have no idea why Owens hates Texas. There's no reason behind it. We don't know why Edge snapped at AJ. We don't know that. But here's another one, bro. Since Vince McMahon has, so to speak, taken Austin Theory under his arm, right? Austin Theory has lost everything. Like every match, WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar embarrassed them with the cowboy hat and the whole 9 yards. But meanwhile, Vince is still sitting there with him like he's a top star in the anybody else, bro. If they would have had the performance that Austin had once Vince took him under the wing, they'd be fired. They would have been fired, bro. You made me look bad. You left egg on my face. They'd have. Why is Vince still having conversations with this kid?
It makes no sense, because even when he was talking about like weeks ago, he was like, if you didn't defeat Finn Balor, he was going to be fired, right?
Yeah.
And then he cowers on Lesnar, then he cowers on Lesnar again at the Elimination Chamber, looks like a wuss, and then all of a sudden he just no shows right after the Rumble. And then all of a sudden they just go right back to square one with the backstage, segment with Vince and Austin Theory. It wasn't no continuity. It wasn't Vince saying, "What are you doing? You did that. That goal that you didn't show me that evil streak. You didn't play the Austin Theory I was looking for." You know what I mean? He didn't do any of that. It was just Austin Theory pep talking Vince about being on the Pat McAfee show. That's the loose ends that we
and here's the angle, bro. Vince is going to go on Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is going to ask Vince a question that he doesn't like, and Austin Theory's going to come in and jump back. Oh, there's your Matt. Oh, what a bill. Oh, bro, I got to see this. I got to see this now. Yeah. Bro, this is the laziest booking you'll ever see in the history of wrestling across the board, bro.
Yeah, because this Vince stuff just actually popped up. Like rumors of it were just a few days ago. All of a sudden now, Vince is going to be involved at WrestleMania.
They looked at ticket sales, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that.
You're right. He puts all this on Theory. He doesn't deliver. And now he's like kind of being accepting. All right, come along with me, pal. Let's go to the Pat McAfee show. And
Yep. There's a lot of comments saying that we forgot the Veer segment. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, there was a Veer segment. Yes.
Hey, we got a super chat.
We got Rollin. Nice.
I thought that Damien Priest performing the Razor's Edge on Balor, then calling himself the bad guy, was nostalgic. Do you guys think that Balor was not breaking the announce table? Was that a botch of not breaking that announce table, or what were your thoughts on that? You were there live, Chris.
He just slid right through it. Like he just slid right across it. You know what I mean? It was just like, it seemed like it was intending to break, but no, I mean, he's sweating. So it just seemed from what I was there, from what I saw, he just did the edge and then he just slid right across the table. So it definitely seemed like it was a botch.
Yeah. Sometimes the table likes to no sell.
Yes.
Veer is still coming, by the way, guys. Did you know that?
He was at main event. I know that he's been main event for a while now, but it was my first time. Because I don't watch main event. It was my first time seeing Veer in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. I saw live.
I would have popped for that.
My hand to your hand, ladies and gentlemen. I saw Veer in my heart.
That's a highlight. That would have been my highlight of the night, bro.
Man.
How'd he look?
Absolutely. I took some pictures. He looked marvelous. He looked marvelous, ladies and gentlemen. It was whack. It was some no-namer. He did some big jumping elbow drop, some big jumping high velocity leg drop, and his I think his finisher was like some lariat or something like that. Just super generic moves, man. I don't get the hype. But he was babyface though. People were cheering him, so I guess he's been babyfacing it on main event too. So I don't know.
He's getting over on Twitter, I think. Yeah, he's getting over on Twitter because he keeps coming but never shows up.
Yeah, man. This is officially March here on the East Coast. He's been having promos since October.
October. Remember Emelina? Remember Emelina?
I do remember Emelina.
I think this is stretching out further than Emelina.
Oh, definitely. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. This is month number 5 of Veer pros.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year, probably. That's what it's going to be. I'll just put him in the Hall
I think
of Fame.
It's all leading to Hall of Fame induction. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Just him and Taker. Just two-man class.
Him and Taker. Yes. Him and Taker, 2-man class. We actually think my idea was just have segments of people induct Taker. I think what you just do is you just do straight up, someone like Akira Tozawa and induct Taker, and then all the people who are induct Taker, they induct Veer instead. Ooh. So you just have all those speeches for Veer.
I think during Taker's speech, they should have a 24/7 match breakout.
Ooh,
there you go.
Taker win the title.
Yeah, how about that? Yes.
No, I wouldn't say Taker win the title. I would say everybody who's supposed to be doing the speeches, DiBiase, Jake, them they become 24/7 champ.
Man.
Kane has been 24/7 champ, by the way, if y'all remember.
Yeah.
Mayor Kane was 24/7 champ.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll want another run with that title. I mean, put that on the resume.
Absolutely. It was his most accomplished feat in the WWE was winning the 24/7 championship on the field, by the way.
We briefly covered it in the open here, Chris, but the final segment was, of course, Edge coming out to see who his WrestleMania opponent was going to be. And, of course, everybody, if you read the stories, knew it was AJ. Keeping it last, a lot of people thought maybe Cody Rhodes. Nope, it was AJ Styles. But then another heel turn happened unexpectedly and without any reason. What was going through your mind when you saw Edge do what he did?
Another pre-WrestleMania heel turn. It didn't for me. I was like, it was just anticlimactic from a audience standpoint. Where he threw the roads out there too. He said what roads are, what's roads is it going to be or whatever. A lot of people in the arena was chanting Cody, and there's actually a lot of people in the crowd. AJ was even getting some boos because people were expecting Cody. And I was just sitting there like, this is going to be the last segment. Like, if this is the last segment of Raw, it better be something interesting. And if it's just AJ, I mean, no disrespect to AJ, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's been there every week and he's not being built as someone huge. It hasn't been for a while. So if it's just AJ coming out in this last segment, it's kind of like deflating the balloon. And a lot of the crowd felt that way when AJ Styles music came out. They're like, like we knew it was going to be AJ, but this is the last segment. Something's big's going to happen. He threw the roads kind of teaser in there. People were starting chanting Cody, and then AJ comes out. And from an audience perspective, there are a lot of people that are just like, okay. And so for me, when I saw it, I said, okay, well, here's another Edge pre-WrestleMania heel turn, just like he did last year. He did the same thing last year. He was a baby face, and he turned heel pre-WrestleMania to add another heel to a heel Roman Reigns to make Daniel Bryan look more of a babyface didn't really make sense there. This one doesn't make sense too. The babyface dynamic to kind of have that sign of respect would have been more, to me, it would have been a more interesting type of angle there, just to show a sign of respect. But Ed's doing the same song and dance, the demented, should I do it, should I not? You knew he was going to do the concerto. Like, it's just kind of the same song and dance to me. I was just looking at it like, this is whack. This is whack.
And you know what bothered me on top of that, bro? And again, I'm like, bro, everything begins and ends with freaking logic. And there is no logic in this show whatsoever. But here's another thing. AJ's laying there out cold, and then Edge is going to hit him with another chair shot, right? Nobody's coming from the back, bro.
Yeah,
we're just gonna let Edge hit a guy who's unconscious with a chair. Like nobody comes from what? Like
it was about 3 minutes left. It was about 3 minutes left, and there were still people who were thinking that Cody may come out. People thought that AJ was. Yeah, they thought it was going to be a red herring. Cody coming out.
You got a guy unconscious and another guy about to hit him with a chair, and nobody's going to come out to stop him. Like what? Whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Yeah.
And they were even saying, like there could be this could be a red herring still. You know what I mean? Because who's going to come back the next week? You know, after two concertos, right? He's supposed to have a concussion now, and that's supposed to be the thing. Like he's supposed to be concussed. He's got two concertos. It wouldn't make sense if he came out next week, because that would be a horrible sell. If you come out in 2 weeks, that would shorten it up to a week build before the go home. So that wouldn't make sense. So it's just either he's going to come back a week or two before WrestleMania, and they try to squeeze that little build right there. Or this is all a red herring for, you know, potentially Cody to come next week.
Well, bro, let me just ask you guys something, because it just dawned on me. When you talk about a red herring and they're throwing all this Owens, Texas thing, and they're throwing JBL and Booker T and with Austin, and I said, bro, there's no way Austin's coming back for a match if this is the storyline. Is that the Cody Rhodes spot at WrestleMania? Who represents Texas more than Cody Rhodes?
Yeah. And we got another super chat. Thanks to Roland Curtis here. I agree with you guys. Stone Cold didn't want to wrestle Scott Hall at Mania 18 because Austin felt that Hall's status at the time was beneath him. KO is not on Hall's level and definitely not on Razor's level.
For sure.
Chris, you don't see that, Chris? The Cody Rhodes thing? No, the Cody Rhodes thing.
No, I don't. I'll get to that. I don't want to no-sell Rollin real quick. I want to give him some love and say thank you for the super chat. Yeah, and appreciate it. I agree. I agree. He's not on Razor's level. To tie that into the Austin thing, it doesn't make sense. He didn't want to go against Hall at 18, but for some reason, you know, he wants. You know, it's not necessarily he wants to. I think it would be revolved around him. I still think it may even. Me and you, Vince, we talked about on the show. I suggested that he just does a run-in, like you do a KO show, you know, at WrestleMania, and Austin does a run-in there. I think if you really built this, like, again, we have to understand, we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania, and there's still so many loose ends left on the table that we have to just hurry up and put together in a matter of 4 weeks leading into that. And it's just, it's terrible. You have 3 more Raws before Mania, and you're really going to bunch that in, you know. And I think as far as a red herring, I think the only way that makes sense for Cody to come, because Cody's going to get the return pop. You know, people do. Even if you left a heel and you were gone, look at Triple H. He was gone 9 months. He was the biggest heel in the WWE at that time. He got the return pop. Everybody gets the return pop, right? Rollins, he was the biggest heel before he came back from injury. He came back at what was it, Money in the Bank or whatever it was, and he got the return pop. Whatever summer event that was that he came back, maybe the May pay-per-view or the Money in the Bank, one of them. But when he attacked Reigns, he got the return pop. Everybody gets the return pop, even when you're a heel. So Cody's going to get the return pop. It would be just squish and totally dampered if you do it with Austin. All right. So that's what I'm saying. It might be a red herring with the whole Edge and AJ thing, that you have Cody come next week as someone that Edge cuts a promo, AJ couldn't cut it, blah, blah, blah. Cody comes back. So either you do Cody Edge, and then you have a returning AJ come like the last week of Raw, and you can do a triple threat, which I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that, really. I mean,
I don't think anybody would. Plus, you got time to build Cody. You got time to build that program with Cody and AJ those few weeks or with Cody and Edge those few weeks while AJ is resting from that concerto. Yeah. I think that'd be a good spot to have him in. Mm-hmm. Do you think?
I'll be fine with triple threat. Actually.
Oh man, that would be a show stealer probably with the talent those three guys have. Do you think the KO thing is not leading to a match, but more of just a merry-go-round of Texas Hall of Famers beating them up at Mania?
I'd be more interested in that than just a plain Cody. I mean, just a plain KO and Austin match. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Yeah. And to your point, Vince. I think if they do that,
I think it's going to be Cody, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You think it's going to be Cody and KO?
I think they're misdirecting you with all these people. I think Austin is probably getting paid just to keep his mouth shut. Oh. I guarantee you, bro. Bro, the guy's got a Texas tattoo on his freaking neck. Like, come on, bro. And here's another thing, too. Chris. They're not just going to put Cody over Edge. They'll put Cody over Kevin Owens in a second. They're not going to put Cody over Edge. I'm telling you, bro.
I think Edge would be. I think Edge would be open to putting.
I don't see it, bro. I think I'm telling you, bro. If I'm writing this show, to me, that's the perfect Cody spot.
Cody's like Edge is a business guy to me. I don't see Edge. I mean, you work with Edge, Vince. Like, I don't see Edge as that person who just kind of vetoes ideas. If they're
I don't think he would. I don't think he would veto it. I don't think the company would put Cody over Edge. I don't think it has anything.
Oh, I can see that now.
I don't think the company would do that, bro. Yeah. I think they put him over Owens in a second.
But there is no way there's no way you're going to have the first major defector from AEW lose his first return match, though. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't think that's going to happen.
To Vince, I think that's gold that he's got in his pocket right now with Cody coming over, if he does indeed come over to WWE. And I think actually for doing that move, it's finally going to probably pay off for Cody in that push that he's never had in WWE.
Well, I think even if you do a triple threat match, AJ takes the fall, and it would make more sense there.
Yeah, that's definitely the easiest way to go there for the pinfall.
Yeah, and then you can have more meat on the bone with a Cody and Edge feud post Mania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got WrestleMania Backlash. It's already been announced for the next month there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Which is still a weird name for me.
Gotta get that branding in, pal. Gotta get that branding.
You gotta get the Rusty at Peacock, pal.
And if you don't like it, shut up.
There you go.
Well, gentlemen, that we have covered 3 hours of an enthralling 3% of good content, according to Chris, which I don't disagree with either. Anything else you guys want to discuss outside of that uneventful Raw tonight?
Vince, you always channel attitude, brother. Come on, Vince.
Well, tomorrow I will tell you, bro, Patreon, because Patreon charges you the first of every month. And tomorrow on patreon.com/Russo TWC, I am kicking off I completed Vince versus Vince. My chronological history with Vince McMahon ending in some recent emails. I did 8 episodes of that, and now tomorrow I start Vince versus Eric Bischoff and that entire history. So if you sign up for patreon.com/Russo TWC, you're going to get both of them. You're going to get Vince versus Vince, and you will now get the Vince versus Eric series. So that's the only thing I'm going to.
You know what's after the? What's after the Vince versus Eric, the grand finale?
Vince versus Veer.
Oh,
Vince versus Veer is a bonus. Hey, don't forget the bonus.
Right.
Vince versus Jim Cornette. That is.
I will do. I'm going to do that for sure.
That'll put butts in
There's a few that I'm going to do. I'm going to do that one for sure. Yeah.
We got a couple of things to promote. Of course, the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards. There is the address right there. More than 70,000 votes.
Wow.
And of course, the very own Vince Russo with some great input.
That's
DDP with some great input. Yeah, 70,000. The votes keep coming in. And if you haven't done so, the link is right there. And go vote now for all sorts of things. Heel of the Year, Wrestler of the Year, everything up there. And again, some good insight from Vince Russo, DDP, Rob Van Dam, Renee Paquette. A lot of people there have contributed for the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards. Thank you to everybody that voted. 70,000 it's a nice. It was I don't even think it was half that about a week ago. So, and we want to mention one more thing. Of course, DDP was supposed to be on the show, couldn't make it tonight, but he has a new show that he's involved in, a Castlevania anime series. It's on Netflix. It's actually probably on your Netflix right now, called The Guardians of Justice. Just launched right now, so go check that out for sure. And hey, let us know what you think there. Very cool to see DDP involved in that.
DDP will be on the show tomorrow. He'll be on Unscripted tomorrow as well. So he was supposed to do a twofer. Yeah, he's supposed to do a twofer, but he couldn't make it tonight. But he will be on Unscripted tomorrow with a 30-minute Q&A, if you will, baby.
If you will. All right, gentlemen. This is my first time on the show, so thanks for giving me the call to come in here while you were over at Raw. And anything else to close out the show, guys?
Yeah, no, thanks, Jeremy, too. It was fun doing the show with you tonight.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you. Hopefully we could do this again sometime.
Definitely enjoyed it. All right, gentlemen.
Follow me at Chris Prolific.
Follow me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And thanks for tuning in, fellas. Don't forget to vote at the Sportskeeda Wrestling Awards, and have yourself a good evening.